Sunday, January 12th, a little afternoon. I just want to make sure that everyone is very, very clear that despite the best efforts of the United States government, of huge bipartisan numbers of Republicans and Democrats in the House and the Senate, along with the Biden administration, all of them have lied to you about what the TikTok ban is about. The government's entire argument was that it's about national security and protecting the data of Americans because the Chinese government, through the Chinese parent company of TikTok, ByteDance, might someday potentially alter or manipulate the algorithm of TikTok USA to brainwash all of us with Chinese propaganda, along with TikTok USA has collected all kinds of data on Americans. And apparently, according to the United States government, TikTok USA is the only social media platform ever in existence anywhere on the planet that has ever collected data on Americans. And that China, the Chinese government, through ByteDance, the parent company, might access that data. Is there, I mean this seriously, is there anyone in this country who is dumb and gullible enough to believe that TikTok USA has collected data on Americans that the Chinese government hasn't already collected on all of us through Facebook, through buying data on the open market? National security. The Chinese government owns almost 400,000 acres of farmland in the United States. The Chinese government owns almost $1 trillion worth of our national debt. The FBI detailed last year that the Chinese government for years has been hacking into and working its way into the systems that run critical infrastructure throughout the United States, including our power grid, all of our utilities, so that they can flip a switch and cripple our critical infrastructure across the United States whenever they want to. But the Chinese government might be coming after data on Americans. This TikTok ban, the underlying legislation, the speed at which it got through Congress and to President Joe Biden's desk where he signed it into law, is 100% attributable to APAC, the largest lobbying group on behalf of the Israeli government operating in the United States. APAC owns our Congress. This legislation was passed last March of 2024. That's 5 months after October 7th, 2023, when Hezbollah committed terrorist attacks, or Hamas committed terrorist attacks inside of Israel on Israeli citizens, and Israel responded by using weapons manufactured in the United States to basically completely obliterate everything and everyone inside the Gaza Strip. Between the end of October 2023 and through March of 2024, we all remember the video footage we were seeing on TikTok that was coming out of the Gaza Strip filmed by Palestinians. The head of the Anti-Defamation League in the United States, immediately before this legislation came to be, was caught on a recording saying we have a generational problem and we have a TikTok problem. And then APAC absolutely flooded the United States Congress with money. And this legislation went from not existing to being signed by the President of the United States after having made its way through Congress. That process took 8 days. Republicans and Democrats have never agreed on anything to that extent where legislation came into being in 8 days. The TikTok ban does not have one goddamn thing to do with China. It is 100% APAC and the Israeli government. And the Supreme Court, in their oral arguments, went on and on and on about foreign control of American companies. When APAC and the Israeli government don't control a company in the United States, they own the United States Congress, the legislative branch, and the executive branch. Foreign control of our government. So they're going to take this app away from 170 million Americans right before Trump gets elected, as we're heading into potentially a second pandemic with bird flu. On this issue, on the TikTok ban, and when it comes to complete and absolute subservience to APAC and the Israeli government, on those two issues, both parties are exactly the same.